for the um yeah, the issue we're talking about, just like any colonizer, the Sokoto Caliphate and the British, and to some extent the nations of the West, they are the beneficiaries, and it's they have is in their best interest to keep propping up the contraption. But what the question we need to ask ourselves is, how are they managing to do it? Because every colonizer have uses the same strategy. Has it ever occurred to anyone as small as England is was able to colonize almost the entire world? As little as England is. Same thing, Fulani, the Sokoto Caliphate. As look at check out the percentage of Fulanis in the rest of Nigeria. How did they manage to colonize the entire indigenous people of Nigeria? So there's some philosophers and sociologists who came out. I think it was a guy named Chomsky. It's called manufactured consent, which means the enemy from outside will get you to agree to your own destruction. So you self-destruct, and they do it with media propaganda. The same thing the West does anywhere they go. If they want to attack Iraq, they'll manufacture a consent with Iraqi people. Oh, weapons of mass destruction. The same thing with Libyans. Oh, Gaddafi is this. You must sign on to your own self-destruction using the media. Same thing happened to the outside people. We are one North. Everybody jumping up. One North. They create identity. So we have to be very, very, very conscious of that when an enemy is imposing a fake identity as a label on us. Because if you're not paying attention, you have already signed for your own self-destruction. It was only until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came and opened people's eyes that I begin to hear whenever these people shout, one North, then middle belt will say, no, we are Paragraph, because it is when you agree to be destroyed, then they will hand you the rope to hang yourself. The same thing is happening among us. Niger Delta, yeah, we are Niger Delta. We know I'm not Igbo, I'm Niger Delta. You accept the label the enemy gives you, there you go. So you have to be extremely conscious. Because why is it that each time, because I hear this Igbo group called Igbo Unify Igbo now, arguing with some Ijaw miscreants. And guess who comes to back up the Ijaws? The Yaribas. Oh, don't agree. Just because your name is Igbo doesn't mean you're Igbo. And the fool is jumping and cheering. So we have to be extremely cautious when an outsider is poking around. Even when you're fighting with your brother, always know, be watchful for an outsider's hand. Even when you think that the outsider's argument is supporting your position, while you're fighting with your brother, that the outsider cheering you up is making you win. Be careful. Ask Ilorin people. Outsiders definitely help them, but guess how they are right now. So you should be able to speak up when an outsider is hovering around saying, hey, back up, this is not your business. This is me and this my fellow Biafran talking. We're gonna have a referendum, and if he doesn't want to be part of Biafra, that's fine. And I know that we're all clamoring for help from outsiders. If I were to be the middle belt people, yeah, you're coming to help me, but I need to dictate the way you have to help me. I don't want you to come and be end all be all, and then after helping me, you take over and you have to participate in my own help. So, two things I just wanted to point out. I'm glad that Ochiko pointed. I was going to say that too, because the enemy is always would always want to control them. It's always about the narrative. He's always about the narrative. And once you buy into their narrative, you are done. Nkegi Ekpo, as Mr. people will say. So now that they're saying, oh, we need to remind them that they told us that they brought in these Fulani people. And I don't want to hear anything like this is Middle Belt. You need to call the name of that land what it is. It is a thief land. It is Oguni land. It is Igbo land. It is because if you can remember Abdullah Muhammad when he was saying about settling these people, well, he said the Fulani man is a global man. Uh, he may be a Niger Delta and he speaks Niger Delta language. What the heck is Niger Delta language? But he's able to say that because you allowed him to place the label of Niger Delta on you. Tell him to speak Ogoni. Let's see. Tell him to speak video. Let's see. So that's with since they have started changing the narrative now, we have to tell them no, send all these people back to Niger Republic and Mauritania and Senegal. They need to be all Nigeria. I've never heard of Fulani land because Fulanis are not indigenous to Nigeria. We need to keep hammering that indigenous Christians, because that's the thing. This manipulation of identities. They have taken Islam as their Muslim. They'll never accept you into that because that's not your true identity. At the end of the day, you're still an Igbo person or a Yoruba person who happens to be a Muslim. You're still an Igbo person or a Yoruba person who happens to be a Christian. Christianity is not your true identity. And that is why we don't have any unity behind this thing in the East and West. So you have to be very, very cautious about the manipulation of any colonizer, whether it's a Sokoto Caliphate or Britain or whoever. Any colonizer would always want to ascribe a fake identity on you. Remember who your ancestors are. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the Speaker Akai Kumeku. Please, going forward, we are going to be making our submission 3 minutes because we are beginning to draw closer to towards the the conclusion part of this space. Dr. Tina, I think you're going next, right?
Yes, I'm here.
Right.
Mr. Host, I've been waiting.
Oh, none of one.
Yes,
I did
but
call you. I did call you at a point. You didn't respond. Dr. Tina, please.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's
No,
fine.
no.
my
Let's have it.
brother,
I'll come next.
I'll really be short so that my brother can take the rest of my 3 minutes.
Go ahead. No.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Host, and thank you, co-hosts, and thank you, great space listeners and participants. What an opportunity again. But I listened and listened and listened and listened, and you have said most of what needs to be said. So now I think I just came in for like what one of our brothers mentioned. He said, use your platforms. Use your platforms. I want to remind you that there is noise in the background for some reason. There's certain noise in the background. Who's making the noise? Mr. Host, do you know where the noise is coming from? Oh, Kekogo is
Yeah, it's Chijoke. It's Chijoke. It's Chijoke.
Oh, okay.
Please,
Yeah, somebody.
I've muted him. Sorry about that. Chijioke Okoli, please don't
Yeah,
unmute your mic until you are called upon. Please, thank you. Please go on.
thank you. Thank you very much. You have said most what needs to be said, and our brother said you use your platforms. And if you have listened to Lolo Neka Chimezie on Facebook lately, she comes on every time now. She's more regular on Facebook. And I listen to her every time she posts something. I want us to listen to certain people who have expertise with certain areas of what we're discussing. For instance, when she comes on, or when Wada Lisa Kano comes on, they really hone in on the Yoruba, the beneficiaries. We're talking about the beneficiaries of this Christian genocide. Yorubas somehow benefit from it. And when you listen to these two ladies I just mentioned, please turn off whatever is going on. Um, they talk about the Yoruba people who are beneficiaries of the Christian genocide. I want to point out the other two. You have said them over and over again, but to make sure that everybody is on the same page. The Yorubas benefit from this, but they benefit from it third hand. So the original benefactors of Nigeria are the British government, the British Empire. They benefit from Nigeria. They keep the chaos on in every part of Africa, including Nigeria specifically, where they go, so that the chaos will be going on while they're reaping the benefits of the natural resources of that country. That has been their MO. We discovered it a long time ago. And some of our forefathers and now us, we're working to make sure that we take that spoon or whatever they are harvesting our land and our resources with, we take it out of their mouths. Okay. So the next group that they are kind of the caretakers of Nigeria for them is the Fulani oligarchy, the Sokoto Caliphate, the Sultan of Sokoto, we call him, the Sultan of Sokoto, who is the head of that caliphate. Those are the beneficiaries. The Igbo people who think that they're leading Igbos or that they're politicians who may be living large, like they say in Igbo land, those people are just servants. Servants, go errand boys, just go get this, go do this to your people. Make sure that you keep this going so that we can do this. So those people are really not the beneficiaries. The true beneficiaries go from UK government to the Sokoto Caliphate, now down to the Yoruba people who are also used immensely, but they benefit a little more than the errand boys in Igbo land in Biafra territory. Okay, that is clear in my mind. Another thing that is clear in my mind is when these people call for the use of your platform, you go, what platform? I don't have a platform. Yes, you do. I want to make sure that great Biafrans know that they all and we all have platforms. If you don't raise your voice this time, then we're doomed. You might as well not raise your voice ever again. And what are we raising our voices to do? We're raising our voices to keep amplifying this particular thing, the identity of the people that are being, the genocide is being committed against. My brother who just spoke said so. And they are Christians, but they're Igbo Christians, they're Yoruba Christians, they're Hausa Christians, they're all these northern Christians, they're Middle Belt Christians, they're Biafra Territory Christians, they're Yoruba or Oduwa Christians. Keep your identity, but hammer that all Christians in Nigeria are in great peril right now, and they will exterminate Christianity from that space if we keep quiet. And that's the only reason that the Fulanis who are not Nigerians are hell bent on using anybody they put in Asarok to make sure to silence IPOB. They know that we are the one voice that they're not paying. that can amplify anything coming out of Nigeria. So do not ever minimize and say you don't have a platform. Do you have a Facebook page? Amplify the message from that page. Do you have an X page? Amplify. Do you receive, even on WhatsApp, do you receive Facebook posts or X posts? If somebody posts something that supports the stopping of Christian genocide against the indigenous nations or indigenous peoples in that contraption, you go and support that person by making a post in support and giving that person at least a thumb up or sharing that post. That is your platform. If somebody says something against, like, huh, can you imagine the father, Bishop Coker, a Catholic bishop who used to speak up against the Christian genocide, has today on point, Punch newspaper, I think they call it, Punch newspaper said there is no Christian genocide going on. Today, again, we are trying to say, and I'm trying to say for myself, that Nigeria can bribe the devil, can bribe Jesus. I'm telling you this, Nigeria, with the resources that they collect from our land, including Zamfara land, any place in Nigeria, can bribe anybody. And that's what they're doing. Do not take your eyes off of that. That Bishop Kuka, who used to speak up for Christians in the North, now is saying, no, there's no problem with Christians. What is going on is not really Christian genocide. And I went to that post and I said, we want to see the real Bishop Kuka because this is not the one. Bring out the Bishop Kuka that we had. Bring back Bishop Kuka because I think you have an imposter now. I don't know what to say, except that you must go and say, no, this is wrong, and support what is right that is being posted. That is your platform. And for that, you are saving all of us. There was one brother who said that he even has a small scale industry or business in Nigeria where he employs people. Yes, you can do all of what you need to do to prosper the people of Biafra. And I ask you again, please take some of that business home. Let me digress. There was a man, a Yoruba man, who came in a very simple way and said that Igbos are the ones holding Nigeria together. Because if they take their businesses from the north and take their businesses from the west and kind of push themselves back towards our territory and inside our territory, and build up there and start migrating back to their home, Nigeria will naturally collapse. And I can see that. So that's why I beg you to do that. If you're in the contraction, I beg you to move slowly but surely. Do not make any big deal about it, but move your stuff and go home and employ your brothers and sisters, employ your people so that we can let Nigeria do Nigeria in the north, do Nigeria in the west, excuse me, while we're doing Biafra in the east. Without even calling it any name, we can continue because they're suppressing us and keeping our mouths shut. They don't want us to speak Biafra. But they will hear Biafra because Biafra resides in our hearts. They can't stop us from being Biafrans. Please help us in that way. But everyone has a platform. Please be the media warrior that you are now. Every one of you is a media warrior. And for what you are doing and for what you have agreed to do, and for supporting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and for supporting the Eastern Security Network and the IPOB and its leadership, may God continue to bless us all. Thank you very much, my brothers and sisters.
Latina Ndewo, Ndewo. Thank you very, very much.
Dewo
We
Mazi.
appreciate your
Dewo
submissions.
Mazi.
Yeah. No, Nuvona, I'm sorry at this time I will have to reduce our talking time to 2 minutes. I really will have to do that. So please, yeah, go on, Nuvona. I'll be timing you out, and when it's 2 minutes, I'll cut in. Go on, Nuvona.
Thank you very much. Quickly, Aladima Olundinze. It means that a bad land or a disorganized land is profitable for the rulers. So it's always the rulers who profit from a disorganized society. That's what it means by Aladima Olundinze, as was earlier said.
Thank you.
I want to also quickly. I raised my hand before the live went offline when Black and White was speaking. He said he saw an Arab man in some remote area converting people to Islam, and this remote community have no electricity, no access to water, or any kind of sign of modern life. I like to say this in the defense of the Arab person. It is not the duty of a religious group to bring light, electricity, and other kind of civilization to a community. It's a duty of the government. And I do not blame anybody